right. What's up, everybody? We don't got a lot of time, so let's let me get. We'll try to get through this as quickly as possible for me. You guys, we got a big weekend of wrestling coming up, whether you're ready for it or you're not. WWE Payback on Saturday night. Then on Sunday night, AEW All Out. Many people calling it lackluster, a lackluster weekend of wrestling. You can feel the way you want about it, I guess. I understand how people feel if they're saying both things, one thing, or, you know, whatever it is you're saying about the shows. I get it. I'm not that excited myself tonight. I could have made a video and uploaded it tonight, but I decided to be live. But not live. I won't be live for long, obviously. Friday nights is my short night usually. Tomorrow night, of course, is Monetize This and also Payback Reaction. So we'll be kind of reacting to Payback a little bit. At the same time, doing our Monetize This Saturday night show. Tonight, I feel like it's a big Labor Day weekend. Everybody's going away this weekend. I feel like ratings are going to be down for that reason as well. Just so many people are going to be out doing things. Even judging by the amount of people watching this show right now, I can tell families are away, people are away, and that is typical of the Labor Day weekend on YouTube, at least from what I can remember about Labor Day weekend on YouTube. So the rumors have been now there's some rumors that we've heard about over the last couple of days about the CM Punk situation, and today there was a little more added to them, but they were also being printed for like real news stories where recently they'd been rumors, but not a lot of wrestling sites were actually putting them out there, that they were like, this is a real story that's happening. So it was weird. The hearsay stuff was coming out, and the I heard this or that was coming out, but actual, wrestling news websites were printing it like a story today. So I think that that's something worth reading. It's something we have actually heard. We heard it, the day after, the night after. And I did, there's a couple things, According to a source regarding the CM Punk Jack Perry incident, they said that many of the wrestlers think both Perry and Punk were at fault. And when the talent found out, they got more motivated to put on a great show. Kind of brought everyone together, and Samoa Joe was a real leader, people said in the back about the incident. Sure. Okay. Maybe. But let me go to the other story, which is the one that I find the most interesting. By the way, in case you guys didn't realize it, it's September 1st, 2023, and that means that if you're a patron of mine on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, your Patreon may have been re-upped or been canceled by accident. So please check your patrons. If you guys are people that like to donate on Patreon only, or you're a patron just to, here's $2 a month, here's $5 a month, here's $10 a month. I want all your bonuses. I want your alerts. I want all that stuff. So here you go, and that's all I do. Check to make sure you're still on there, because obviously every month we lose a bunch of people, and then everybody comes back, usually almost everybody. So we had 130 patrons. Now we have 100. So I think that obviously, a lot of people didn't get re-upped, and that happens every month. So yeah, if you guys want to support the channel and you want to make me feel better, because I'll tell you guys, damn, we have not been below 100 patrons in 7 years. It has been 7 years since I've been below 100 patrons. And as of this moment, right now, we have 100 patrons right now. So if you want to support the show and you want thousands of bonus content downloads that are available on Patreon, and you want every alert that I'm going live, that there's a video up, you want all the bonus podcasts and everything that are there, go on Patreon. I recommend $5 a month, but you can do $1 a month. You can do 10. People are $25 producers. And shout out to Sith Negan. Sith Negan, a $100 a month patron for 53 weeks in a row. 53 weeks in a row. That's crazy. So thank you to Sith Negan. But let's read this. But yeah, so please become a patron right now if you can, in droves, because I'd like to get back to 150. Not go, or getting back to 130 be good, but really getting back to 150 be great. Will we ever see 400 again? I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get a show that's up there that's epic that everybody has to listen to that's worth it. The version of the All-In incident Jack Perry told people is that after the match, CM Punk came up to him with a lot of people around and said, "Do we have a problem?" And Perry said no. Perry then said to Punk that he said stuff that got online about him, and that line using the term "Cry Me a River." Punk then said words to the effect of, I could F you up at any time, right? And he then pie-faced Perry and tried to put a guillotine on him, and also threw some punches while Perry grabbed Punk's arm to try to keep him from locking in the move. Samoa Joe came in and quickly broke it up. So that's apparently what happened. Jack Perry got cute. CM Punk allegedly then was like, "I'll fuck you up." And then he kind of did. And then Samoa Joe came in and broke it up. Like, what the fuck's going on? So that is the latest version of what people think is going on. So, Jesus. You tell me if you believe that. I don't know. Interesting. Cry me a muffin, says Mr. Pico Boulevard in the chat. Cry me a muffin. There's another account of the story, and the other account of the story is, according to eyewitnesses, according to an eyewitness who is not a wrestler, their version of CM Punk Jack Perry incident, that was that right after Perry came to the back, CM Punk went nose to nose with him aggressively and asked him if he had a problem. It's kind of similar to the last story. Perry said he was just looking to get heat as a heel. Punk shoved him hard. Perry got in his face. Punk sucker punched him and went for a choke. So that's about what we heard in the other one, a little bit different, but almost the same thing. People immediately broke it up, and Tony Khan was yelling at Punk to let him go. Once they were separated, Punk lunged in Khan's direction, but a number of people got in his way while Punk was yelling, "I quit." Monitors were knocked down during this. Samoa Joe was very upset and went to calm Punk down. So that's a slight variation of the other story that we heard. So the other story is a little bit different. I mean, the one thing that I hear in that story that makes me think, like, I just don't feel like Punk would actually do that, is that he lunged at Tony Khan. Like, part of me thinks that if he did lunge, it's being interpreted that he lunged at Tony Khan. I feel like CM Punk wouldn't lunge at Tony Khan. Do you know what I mean? If Tony Khan came in there and was like, cut it out, and yelled at Punk or yelled at anybody, I feel like Punk respects Tony in some way. Maybe. Maybe he doesn't based on the press conferences. Maybe he feels bad for Tony, like Tony's just a little dork, and like whatever. I don't know if that's the way Punk feels, but I don't know what it is, but I just have a hard time believing that CM Punk lunged at Tony Khan. Could he have lunged in the direction of him but not at him on purpose? Like that's what I mean. Like, did he lunge or get knocked some way and the person is saying he lunged at Tony Khan? Like, I don't think that there's proof he actually lunged at Tony Khan. Like, he might have, but it wasn't deliberately to go at Tony Khan. Do you know what I'm saying? So either somebody's lying or somebody's kind of like misinterpreting what happened. Maybe he did, but I just don't really buy that myself. That's how I feel about it. He could have done it. It's my birthday, so you became a member. Oh, man. Yo, shout out to Texas Chode House, who became a member again. Texas Chode House, thank you so much for being a member. You beast. I really appreciate that. 6 months in a row. Stay hard, stay wet, says Texas Chode House. There is no better way to be than hard and wet, baby. You know it, too. You naughty, saucy boy. Like I said, I think will Tony Khan come out on Saturday night? On Saturday night, on Collision, will Tony Khan come out and say, I've got an announcement, everybody. CM Punk will face Jack Perry. I've got an announcement, everybody. CM Punk will be at All Out, and he has a match against a mystery opponent, or he has a open challenge or something like that. Or will he just be cutting a promo? Whatever. What will happen? If CM Punk is announced for All Out, I'll have some interest. If CM Punk is facing Jack Perry, that's must-see TV at this point. Dude, and let me tell you something. If CM Punk is not at All Out at this point, I don't think I'll watch All Out. I'll be honest. I don't think I will watch All Out unless it's announced that CM Punk is going to be facing Jack Perry. That's where I'm at this point. You built up whatever. I don't care if you didn't build it up on your story, on your show. At this point, I feel like it's a story. And it's the most interesting thing that's going on. I want to see Punk fight Jack Perry. I don't want to see Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Ricky Starks. I don't want to see Dennis Rodman come out and let a Chicago Bull put a basketball up his ass. I don't need that. I need CM Punk and Jack Perry being announced for the fucking show. That's what I need. Because everything else is bullshit as far as I'm concerned at this point. That's what we need. It's Friday night, and that's what we need. Tomorrow night is Monetize This. That's when the real party goes down tomorrow night. I hope you guys are here on my channel tomorrow night, Saturday night. It will be a big night because it will be WWE Payback, and we'll be here doing Monetize This and reacting to Payback at the same time. It will be probably a pretty big stream tomorrow night, so I really am looking forward to that. That being said, it is Patreon day where you got to re-up your patron pledge. Remember to do that if you want to support my channel on Patreon, because we lost about 25 patrons the other day, which that happens at the beginning of every month. So just check it out. Make sure a lot of people say my card didn't work, so just make sure you check it if you want it to work. Tomorrow night will be a big night. Let's see, what else do we got? I don't have much time left here on a Friday night, so let's just go to the chat and read what you guys are saying. What's up, Casno? Ricky, I thanks, man. I agree too. I don't know. It's just, I feel this way, man. I feel salty about the whole thing. I feel like, listen, man, Give me a payoff now. Put these guys in a thing. I'll be interested if they wrestle each other. You know, they got to get past all the bullshit, though, right? I thought they liked working together. Maybe Jack Perry is one of the guys that wouldn't take any, advice from CM Punk when he worked with him the last time, and that's part of where some of this comes from. And it's hard to say, man, with Punk, because Punk is a weird guy. It's like sometimes Punk seems like a sweet guy who respects people that are respectable, and people that aren't respectable, you know, he's kind of a dick to. But then, you know, I see him being mean to people that I've been told are good people. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I liked LA Knight and The Miz tonight. I thought that was pretty good, although LA Knight seemed to be a little too scripted tonight. I felt like LA Knight was he was either really scripted or he wasn't scripted enough. LA Knight kind of, you know, stumbled a little bit at times and was sort of like unclear with everything he said. But then he would like recover towards the end, if that makes any sense. Like LA Knight would start speaking fluff at the beginning, like, well, let me tell you something, you know, you say this, and then right in the middle he wouldn't do so well. But then at the end he would finish strong. So that's the LA Knight Miz promo was weird. I honestly, it's weird because LA Knight and Bray Wyatt had a feud. And it was supposed to really be a big thing for Bray. And in the end, I think LA Knight came out the guy that was interesting in that whole thing, if you remember. But here, LA Knight is facing The Miz. And so far, I feel like The Miz has been kind of winning in the promo battles because the Miz seemingly knows more about LA Knight. You know what I mean? And all the stuff that LA Knight knows about The Miz mostly is a success. If I was LA Knight, I would have painted it more like your time is over. Do you know what I mean? Like, how long have you been in the WWE and you got that one moment at WrestleMania that you've clung to since then? Now you're forced to impersonate other people that have better charisma than you do. You know what I mean? I thought it was a little bit like sort of shallow in like, oh, your wife isn't filled up, but I'll fill her up. You know, that was kind of bizarre, and it like some of that stuff didn't play as well as you would think, I thought, tonight. So I think LA Knight had a pretty good promo, but in the end, I fear what I feared the most was that The Miz had so much gotcha stuff, and he had even more tonight when he said, hey, you were on a reality show too, like me. It was called The Superhero or something, and you were the first one eliminated. You know, that sort of thing. And then LA Knight tried to say, well, I never give up, and that sort of thing. And I would have said, you know, and he tried to sort of paint that thing, but I would have painted it even more that your best days were gone. You know, your best days are over like 15 years ago. You know, WrestleMania 28 was the highlight of your career, and you know what I mean. You needed The Rock's help to do it. Quite honestly, listen, I take nothing away from you from getting to WrestleMania. I take nothing away from you from being a superstar this long a time. Your longevity is unbelievable, but my longevity is even longer in the bedroom with your wife. You know, it's like that. Those are the things that he was doing. But it's like you could have kind of brought it more into a like, your days are kind of over here and LA Knights are just beginning, and that's what makes you so mad. You can't stand these people love me. You can't stand that the corporate train is behind my back. Everybody's behind my back and everybody's saying LA Knight. And the fact of the matter is, even when your wife looks at LA Knight, she sees that twinkle that used to be in your eye. She sees it in mine and she smiles a little bit, and you can't stand that either, Miz. You can't stand the fact that my merch is outselling your merchandise. You can't stand the fact that I'm older than you, that I'm staying in this ring doing it better than you are right now, Miz. You can't stand that all that effort, all these years, all that learning, all that trying, all those titles, all that winning, all that WWE superstardom, all of that. And at this very moment, you're looking up at me with everybody saying, my dick is big. No, but it's like, seriously, like he should have I would have kind of gone into something like that and painted it more that way, because what other things are there to really say about The Miz, you know, that aren't like false things like, oh, your wife, I'll fill her up and you can't do that. It's like, nah, bro, his wife just had 2 babies with him. Like, that doesn't work. Shitting on the wife doesn't work. She clearly loves him. Everybody believes that those two love each other. So trying to drive that wedge really just doesn't really work that well. And, talking about the Miz's balls and stuff like that, it's like everybody's done that. So it's just, I think it should have been more about how, like, your days are over and you can't stand it. Look at my flame, and it would have been more about LA Knight, blah, blah, blah. Look at you, you got to tremble. Like, you can't stand this charisma. This might be the stuff you used to have, Miz. You used to have this charisma. And here's the thing, let's be honest. How old is LA Knight? Is he like the same age as The Miz? Alexa, how old is The Miz?
Is 42 years old.
Alexa, how old is LA Knight?
Sean Ricker is 40 years old.
Okay, so he's only 2 years younger than The Miz, right? He's 2 years younger. The Miz is 2 years older than him, right? LA Knight actually, to me, they seem like they're the same age, but like he could just say that. He could be like, Miz, we're the same age, man, but your flame is burned out a long time ago. You can't believe it. See, you gave up years ago. You were just happy, I'm going to do the Miz show, come out here. I'll be the host of WrestleMania. Yeah, you're just mailing it in because you're getting older. You tried a couple of times and you failed, so you're just happy to pigeonhole yourself in. I'll never be happy, Miz. I like to climb to the top of the mountain. I like to sit there forever at the top of the mountain, drinking the best champagne, eating the best food, looking at all the best beautiful women, inviting them up to my mountain to sleep with me. You can't do that anymore, Miz. You're married to one forever. That's it. It's you and that family, and that's it. Just like you're married to this company forever in any way you can. You'll sweep the floors if you have to, Miz. But LA Knight doesn't sweep floors. LA Knight shines like a diamond. LA Knight, blah, blah, blah. And, like, it's just you can't handle this charisma anymore, Miz. You're 42 going on 62, Miz. And I would have painted it more like that. But it still was really good. I mean, LA Knight's promo was good. It just was a little convoluted at times and whatever. And The Miz had so much gotcha stuff of, like, personal attacks on him. And it's much harder for the personal attacks on LA Knight. The best thing LA Knight said, though, was that, hey, you dressed up like Cena, you dressed up like The Rock, you always dress up like these people, and then you dressed up like me. What does that tell you, Miz? This is who you've always wanted to be. They're who you always wanted to be, and you couldn't reach that level, man. Hey, listen, I take nothing away. You've been here 30 years, whatever it is, 300 years, mid-card guy. What did they used to call him? Call it a B-plus player, Miz? Yeah, you're riding high on a C-plus right about now, and probably for the last 6 years. You see, Miz, I'd rather burn brighter than any star in this company for 10 years straight than have a career of 30 years of being someone's bellboy like you. And just sort of paint it like that. That The Miz is, cruise control for 30 years, good for you. Well, I'm going to be an A-plus guy for 10 years, and I'm going to burn so bright, everybody's going to know my name, everybody's going to know who I am. You ask people who The Rock is, they all know him. They all know his name. You ask people who Stone Cold Steve Austin is, they all know his name. I go down the street, I ask somebody who The Miz is, they go, what? It's a math test? What did you say? It's like, so, but Miz, eventually everybody's going to know who LA Knight is, just like everybody knows The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Miz, you'll kind of be an afterthought, Miz. That's fine, though. You got a beautiful family. But it's like, what do you do, though, as far as a promo? Because how do you combat the shots that The Miz took on LA Knight? Do you know what I mean? How do you combat those shots? So I told you it was going to be tough. I don't even know if I could do it. I just gave you some ideas and some examples of stuff that I might have leaned into a little more. But it's like, what do you do, man? This guy took some serious, like, personal and real shots at you last week. What do you do to The Miz now to get him back? You got to get him back harder. I said that. And I don't think LA Knight did that. I think LA Knight stood in the ring and he did pull out a decent promo, and he fought back and he finished strong and he did his catchphrases and stuff like that. But quite honestly, did he really answer for the fact that The Miz was like, yeah, and what? And like comparing him to all these other people? Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe, and here's the other problem. LA Knight can't hit The Miz, right? Because The Miz is obviously, going to get the upper hand because The Miz is going to lose, obviously, tomorrow. So, but it would have been nice if LA Knight could have been like, and you know what else? You know what else I have in common with The Rock and Stone Cold? I saw what you did last week. You took my catchphrase there, my yeah, and then you kind of spun it into like that I was trying to emulate or copy somebody else, Miz, huh? Just like you sit here in the ring with a microphone talking like like a tough guy, like so many have come before you. But here's the thing, Miz. You know, I do have something in common with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, besides the fact that I'm just as charismatic and these people love me. You know what that is, Miz? And the Miz could have been like, what? And LA Knight could have been like, they would have kicked your ass too. And then he could have just attacked the Miz. You know, because it would have been funny if he was like, you know what else I have in common with The Rock and Stone Cold? They would have whooped your ass too. And he could have thrown the microphone up or thrown it at the Miz and attacked the Miz. And then the Miz could have like punched him in the balls, and then he could have hit the mic check on him or whatever the fuck he calls it. I don't even remember anymore. And I guess you could have done the same thing, but it would have been like a little cooler, because instead of LA Knight just being like, yeah, he could have been like, you know, oh, they would have whooped your ass too. And he would have gone after him and the crowd would have popped. And then Miz turned it around and hit him in the balls. He had to do something dirty, but whatever. You know, it's just little things like that that I would have pounded on to make that segment a little bit stronger, I think, for LA Knight. But whatever. LA Knight on Cruise Control is still a 7 out of 10. Good job. But I think The Miz did an 8. I think The Miz last week and then tonight, you combine them, he did about an 8 out of 10. I think the LA Knight did a 7, which is fine. LA Knight has the crowd, you know, whatever. Fine. But yeah, it's the same deal. It's the same thing. It's just a little bit of tacked on stuff. But The Miz did a great job again. I don't like The Miz anymore. He drives me nuts. He bores me. But he's been great in this feud, because I feel like because LA Knight is the guy and he's rising up and there's so much stuff behind LA Knight, that The Miz is like really trying. And because of that, The Miz like really kicks some ass. Do you know what I'm saying? The Miz like really did a great job. And LA Knight did a great job too. So, I mean, honestly, they both did a great job because, again, like I said, it's hard for LA Knight to have to come back from that burial last week when he wasn't here to answer for it. He had to he wasn't there. The Miz got to say all this crap, and then a week go by, and, you know, tonight it's sort of a cheap thing, but what are you going to do? It's either way, it's fine. It was still the best part of the night. That's the thing. It was like one of the best things that happened tonight. So, what are you going to do? Real quickly, once again, the rumor is, according to eyewitnesses in the back, CM Punk shoved Jack Perry hard. Perry came to the back. CM Punk said when they went to nose, and Punk was like, you got a problem with me? And Perry said he was just looking to get some heel heat, talking shit. And then Punk shoved him. Perry got in his face, and then Punk sucker punched him and then went for a chokehold. People immediately broke it up. It said that Samoa Joe broke it up as well. And that Tony Khan was yelling at Punk to let him go, and that's when Punk lunged at Tony Khan. But I don't think I really don't believe the Tony Khan lunging thing, because that, you know, there's been a couple of different stories of this that came out in different versions, and I feel like the different versions are coming up because news sources are saying that there's another eyewitness, and they're adding these little different things so they can print another story. I feel like that's what's going on. It is entirely possible that different people are remembering things differently, but I don't believe that Punk would purposely lunge at Tony Khan. That part, I don't believe that. Maybe it happened, but I just don't buy it at this point. You know? It's my birthday, so you became a member. I don't think it was a burial, Brian, but Louis Urdaneta, who became I believe became a patron today as well. Thank you, sir. 27 months. JC Army, the best. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being a $5 patron, too. I think it was $5 or $10. One of the two. I saw that today, Urdaneta. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so, you know, between WWE Payback and, All Out, we'll see what happens. Chocolate Bunny, like the Red Sox Chocolate Bunny Award. That'd be great. Shonami says, lame promo. I would create a podcast just to say how bad your storyline would be. Well, my storyline is the same storyline as their storyline, pretty much. So, I mean, if my storyline is bad, it's pretty much their storyline, too. So it's just a little different. So if mine is really bad, then theirs would be really bad too, I would think. So I don't know. I feel like you're, I feel like you're kind of, I feel like you're just trolling me or something. I don't think that's real. But go ahead, I'd actually welcome a criticism of the storyline that basically is the storyline we're seeing, but I added to it a little bit differently. But sure, tell me why what I just said would be worse than what they're saying. Even though it's about the same thing, but sure, I'd take that. I'm Ellie Boo says, during solo entrance, it said with Paul Heyman, but he didn't come out with him. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I think they just obviously reused the graphic, and they weren't paying too much attention to that at this point. Punk got his ass whipped in UFC. Let's not forget about that. It's a good point. Well, it is very quiet out there in the YouTube land. As I expected, Labor Day weekend, I have work very, very early in the morning. Very early in the morning. Being that as it is, people still buying AEW pay-per-view, I'm not going to buy it. I don't think I'm going to watch it. I think I'm going to relax on Sunday, and I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to take my, I'm just going to relax for Sunday, even though, like, there is part of me that wants to go to work. There is part of me that wants to go do work because, fuck, bro, I don't know. I may be selling this microphone next week, but I just feel like I better take a day off or I'm going to be miserable all week and perform worse. So I feel like take a day off Sunday. You know what I mean? So, that being said, Punk versus Perry and the Island Boys. Yeah, Punk and Perry versus the Island Boys would be great. So hopefully Tony Khan announces Punk versus Perry for All Out. If he doesn't and CM Punk is not at All Out, then I am all out of buying it. I wouldn't be buying it anyway, but I'm all out of watching it. I ain't watching it. For sure I'm not watching it. Which show is going to be better? I don't know. I mean, I feel like Payback is going to be better because it has all these storylines somewhat kind of built in, and I feel like All Out is just a guess. It's like a roll of the dice, flip a coin. It could be good based on the wrestling and the crowd, but it also could not be. I don't know. It's really a flip of the coin at this point. All Out really lost a lot of luster and a lot of respect. And the other day on the conference call, Tony Khan did say that next year they'll be evaluating whether or not to have All Out a week after All In. So it sounds like to me, because he really defended having it a week apart this year, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with Tony Khan rolling the dice and thinking that that it might work out this year. And it didn't. It honestly didn't. This was a huge mistake, having it a week apart, a big mistake, a big problem, and never do it again. Absolute mistake, having All Out and All In back-to-back weeks. Unless the Jack Perry CM Punk angle was on purpose, then it's kind of genius, but not really, because it's really hurt a lot of things. So, and also this is Labor Day weekend. Once again, it's Labor Day weekend. People are away doing things. People don't have work Monday. I do, but other people don't have work Monday. So I just think this is a massive this was really stupid. I'll say that. I believe it was a stupid idea, and whatever the case is, having All In and All Out a week apart from each other, massive mistake. Do not do that next year. And Tony Khan has said they're going to evaluate it. So based on that, I think they will not do this next week, because I think, like I said, that's a massive issue. Retro gaming, I appreciate that, man. But I mean, I'm working every day except for Sundays. You know what I'm saying? I'm working every day but Sunday. You know what I mean? Let me just see. Let me play the donations or the super chats and see what's up if there are. Let's see if there are. What's going on? Let's see. Super chat down below. Streamlabs donations up above. Click the button. We are live. Let's see. We are good, John. We are caught up. Jay Swiss is all out. How much for that belt? What up, Joker? How you doing? The monetize this championship, my championship that I currently am champion of. I'm going to put this belt on the line in a couple of weeks. And you guys know how bad Luke Rojas did the last time he tried to win this. I don't think anybody's going to take this off me still. I'm confident I can keep it. I cannot sell this belt because, first of all, I'm the champion. I would never sell the belt. I'm the champ. But also, Sith Negan, man, that's a beautiful belt that Sith Negan bought for us. I could never sell this belt, baby. It's the JCS title. It's got my name on it. It's got my logos all over it. Oh, it's beautiful. But I guess for $25,000 we could part with it, you know? Oh, man. Yeah, Sith Negan would, first of all, he would cry and then fall into a river. Second of all, I love this belt. It's like a child to me. It's like one of my kids. It's like one of my 3 kids. It's my 4th kid, this belt. To not only have had it made by the God himself, the Lord, the Emperor, the Enemy Designs, Sith Negan, 53 months in a row, by the way, on Patreon, $100. But also, you know, it's mine and I'm the champ. So we can't do that, man. Anyway, tomorrow night's monetize this. See what happens on Payback. And I don't feel good. Maybe I'll be sick tomorrow. Wherever you are around the world watching, I love you, and I hope you are doing well in life. I hope you are living your dream. And I love you all very much. Tony Khan, will he announce CM Punk returning for All Out Saturday night, or will he announce something stupid? Or will Dennis Rodman come out and have sex with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat? Will Payback be better than All Out? I don't know. We're going to find out. Thanks for being with me here for a little bit. See you tomorrow. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody has a good night. And if you're going away for Labor Day weekend, I don't think I've ever gone away for Labor Day weekend, but if you're going away for Labor Day weekend, I hope you have a good time. I hope, yeah. CM Punk, baby. I hope you go camping. I used to love going camping. I probably did go away for Labor Day when I was like 7 and 6. You know, my family, we went camping and stuff at times. And probably a couple of those times were Labor Day, and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? I don't even know it. I haven't gone on a vacation. Well, I took a little bit of a vacation, and it hurt really bad doing it. I'll never do it again. Taking a week's vacation was a mistake. Mentally, it kind of helped, but now it was a mistake. I mean, we didn't go anywhere really. Went to a couple places, but really just mostly hung out at home. Went a couple places, but my God, that was a mistake. Where are you going? You going to the beach? I wish I'd go to the beach, man. I miss the beach. I miss living next to the ocean. That was fun. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Hope everybody's good. I am not good. I am Robin Williams beside the pool while Chris Benoit holds my sandwiches for me and Chester Bennington sings me to sleep into the darkness. Goodbye.